Hey now, welcome to episode 9 of Lone Star Mini Restoration. Tonight was a little bit different, that's for darn sure. My wife and I were invited to a Halloween costume party, so we dressed up, and I thought, it's only 7 miles across the city. Let's take the Mini. We're dressed up, we'll have a little fun driving the Mini across town. Um, Long story short, we're there about 2 hours. Going there, the temp gauge kind of maxed out, and it had me a little concerned. And so I was kind of thinking about that while I'm at the party. So we left. A couple hours later, we left, and coming home, the temp gauge peaked. And long story short, the red light came on, the engine cut out. I coasted to the nearest convenience store, parked it. We called the wrecker. I literally was less than a mile away from home, and but because there's one busy road there, I didn't want to take the chance of having my wife help me push it home. So we called the wrecker, and that was an interesting story in and of itself. But the funny part of the story is that when the engine cut out, we started coasting into the convenience store. The inside of the car started smoking, and of course, my wife. Here we are. We went to a costume party. Remember, my wife. She jumped. We both jumped out of the car. Once we parked the car, we jumped out, and she went. I asked her to go get some water or something, and so she went running into the store, looking like this, and. In the car, the guy looks out the window. The clerk at the store, he looks out the window. He sees the smoke coming from the car, and my wife's looking like this. That's kind of funny. You have to admit, it's kind of ironic, right? Costume party. I was a lightning bolt. I singed her. She was all singed, from the lightning bolt. And anyhow, yeah, it was kind of funny. Long story short, so we had an interesting night. The wrecker dude, he was like, "Man, this is the smallest car I've ever towed, and the shortest distance I've ever had to tow it." So yeah, that's my episode for the night. Hey, because I've been wondering, it's like, okay, what am I going to do my next episode on? Am I going to do it? I haven't ordered my floor panels yet. I thought, well, maybe I'll order the door skins. I'll start on the doors. I've just been kind of fumbling, figuring out what I'm going to do next. What can I do next while I wait on panels? Well, here we are. But hey, if there's anybody out there that can offer help, remember, I'm the novice, and yeah, I know very little, certainly very little about engines, and I'm hoping that, just by looking at it, the oil on the ground from that picture or the video, I'm thinking maybe it's burning oil somehow, and that's why it's overheating. I'm not sure. The engine's still warm, so I'm going to wait before I pop the radiator to see what's going on there. But hey, if anybody can help me troubleshoot, I would greatly appreciate it. What do I look for? Obviously the engine's overheating. I'm worried that the block was cracked. What should I look for? Any suggestions at all? Hey, thank you in advance. So yeah, hey, what can I say? It's a Saturday night, Halloween. My Mini that I'm about to sell breaks down. That's a different story about the selling of the Mini. I'll tell you about that later. But now I'm glad this happened to me rather than selling the car and this happening to the guy that bought it, right? So yeah, it's a headache. Dadgummit, it's a headache. But I guess I'm going to get used to that. But anyhow, hey, I would appreciate any suggestions. What do I look for? Where do I start looking? How do I troubleshoot this overheating? Hey, thanks in advance, and you guys have a great weekend. Bye just now from Texas.